Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to Timeless Wisdom Path, where we celebrate the beauty that comes with age and experience. I'm so glad you're here today because we're diving into something that's close to many of our hearts, our hair. You know, as we journey through life, our hairstyles often tell the story of who we are, but sometimes they can unintentionally add years to our appearance. Today we're talking about 5 outdated hairstyles making you look older. Replace them with these. Oh, I've been there myself, staring in the mirror and wondering why a style I loved in my 40s just doesn't feel right anymore. It's not about chasing youth. It's about embracing the radiant woman you are now, with cuts and styles that highlight your wisdom and grace. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I was stuck in a rut with my hair, same old look I'd had for decades. Then a dear friend gently suggested a small change, and suddenly I felt lighter, more vibrant. That's what this video is all about. Gentle shifts that empower you to shine. We'll explore 5 common hairstyles that might be holding you back, and for each, I'll suggest a modern alternative that's easy, flattering, and full of life. These aren't drastic overhauls. They're thoughtful updates drawn from timeless principles of self-care and balance. Think of it as pruning a beautiful garden, removing what's overgrown to let the true beauty bloom. By the end, you'll have practical ideas to discuss with your stylist, or even try at home. Remember, your hair is an extension of your spirit, and at our age, we've earned the right to wear it with confidence. If this resonates, hit that like button and subscribe for more empowering tips. Let's get started, shall we? The over-teased bouffant switched to a sleek lob. The over-teased bouffant. I remember this one fondly from my younger days. That big, voluminous crown that felt so glamorous at parties. But as the years go by, I've seen how it can sometimes make us look a bit dated. Like we're holding on to an era that's past. It's that stiff, heavily backcombed style where the hair is piled high on top, often with lots of hairspray to keep it in place. The issue isn't the volume itself. Volume can be wonderful, but when it's overdone, it creates harsh lines and shadows that emphasize fine lines around the face rather than softening them. Plus, it can feel heavy, both literally and figuratively, weighing down your natural movement and making your overall look seem less approachable. Let me tell you about a woman I know. Let's call her Margaret. She was in her 60s, and her bouffant had been her signature for years. But she confided in me that she felt it was making her appear older than she felt inside. We chatted over tea, and I suggested she consider the sleek lob as an alternative. Oh, what a transformation! The lob, or long bob, falls just above or at the shoulders, with subtle layers for movement. It's sleek but not flat. Think gentle natural flow that frames the face beautifully. Why does this work so well? It elongates the neck, draws attention to your features, and adds a touch of modern elegance without requiring hours of styling. Now, transitioning from the bouffant isn't as scary as it sounds. Start by consulting your stylist about cutting to shoulder length, adding soft layers around the face to soften any angles. Use a good volumizing mousse at the roots for lift without teasing, something light like a sea salt spray for texture. I've tried this myself after a long phase of big hair, and it was liberating. Suddenly, my face looked brighter, my eyes more prominent. And maintenance? A quick blow-dry with a round brush, and you're set. For color, consider subtle highlights to add dimension, blending any grays gracefully. But let's talk about why this switch embodies timeless wisdom. In life, as in hair, it's about balance, letting go of excess to reveal your true essence. The bouffant might have served you well once, but now, the lob invites compliments like, "You look so refreshed." It's empowering because it's low maintenance, allowing you more time for what matters: family, hobbies, self-reflection. If you have fine hair, opt for a slightly asymmetrical lob to add interest. For thicker hair, keep it blunt at the ends for polish. And remember, accessories like a simple headband can add flair without overwhelming. I've seen this change light up so many faces. One viewer wrote to me after trying it, saying she felt 10 years lighter. That's the magic. It's not about looking younger. It's about looking like the best version of yourself. So, if the bouffant has been your go, give the sleek lob a chance. You'll wonder why you waited so long. The tight perm. Embrace loose beach waves. Next up, the tight perm. Oh, how this one takes me back. Those small uniform curls that were all the rage, giving that bouncy, defined look. But over time, I've noticed how a tight perm can make the face appear more drawn, especially if the curls are too uniform and close to the scalp. It creates a compactness that can highlight wrinkles rather than diffusing them, and as our hair texture changes with age, perhaps thinning or drying out, the perm can exacerbate that, making strands look frizzy or brittle. It's like wearing a helmet of curls that doesn't move with you. And in our wiser years, we deserve styles that flow and adapt. I recall advising my sister on this. She had clung to her perm for comfort, but it was making her look tired. Why not try loose beach waves? I suggested, and let me tell you, it was a game changer. Loose beach waves are those effortless, tousled curls that look like you've just come from a seaside walk, soft, irregular, with movement. They're achieved with larger curling irons or even no heat methods like braiding damp hair overnight. This style opens up the face, adds softness, and brings a youthful vitality without trying too hard. Making the switch is simpler than you think. If your hair is permed, let it grow out gradually, trimming the ends to remove damaged parts. Then experiment with a curling wand on low heat. Wrap sections loosely for waves that last. A texturizing spray helps hold without stiffness. I've done this on my own hair, and it feels so freeing. The waves catch the light, highlighting your natural color variations. For those with graying hair, waves blend tones beautifully, creating depth. This alternative ties into the wisdom of letting go, releasing the tight control of a perm for the natural rhythm of waves. It's about embracing imperfection. Those loose curls mirror life's ebbs and flows. Practically, it's versatile. Pin back one side for elegance or let it hang free for casual days. If your hair is straight, a salt spray adds grip. For curly naturals, enhance with a diffuser. The result? Compliments on how alive you look. One friend told me it boosted her confidence at social gatherings. So if tight curls are your habit, waves could be your new freedom. The helmet hair. Opt for a textured pixie. Let's talk about helmet hair. That short, heavily sprayed cut that's molded into place, often with a rounded shape. It's practical, I get it. Low maintenance was its appeal when we were busier with careers and kids. But now I've observed how it can create a rigid silhouette that ages the appearance, making features seem sharper and less dynamic. The lack of movement draws attention to static lines, and as hair thins, the sprayed stiffness can highlight scalp rather than conceal. A lovely acquaintance of mine in her 70s shared how her helmet style made her feel invisible. We discussed the textured pixie and she bloomed. The textured pixie is a short cut with choppy layers, adding dimension and softness. It's not severe. Think playful pieces that frame the face, with volume at the crown for lift. This style exposes your beautiful bone structure while softening edges, bringing focus to your eyes and smile. To transition, ask your stylist for a pixie with longer top layers for versatility. Style with a bit of pomade for texture. No heavy spray needed. I've recommended this to many and it's transformative. It feels modern and sassy. For finer hair, add subtle highlights. For coarser, keep layers defined. This change reflects timeless wisdom, shedding the armor of rigidity for the lightness of texture. Life's too short for styles that confine us. The pixie empowers with its ease, wash and go, yet polished. Viewers have shared stories of renewed energy post-switch. If helmet hair is your default, the textured pixie might just set you free. Modest image prompt. Graceful mature woman over 50 with textured pixie haircut. Choppy layers adding volume. Wearing a simple elegant top with scarf, soft daylight lighting, gentle background blur. Confident gentle smile, poised expression, radiant and graceful. Main part 4. The center parted long straight hair. Try side swept layers. 11 to 13:30. The center parted long straight hair, straight down, no frills. It was my go-to in my 50s for simplicity, but I've learned it can elongate the face downward, emphasizing sagging or asymmetry, making one look more somber than spirited. As gravity takes its course, that straight line in the middle can accentuate it rather than counterbalance. I helped a book club friend rethink hers. What about side-swept layers? I proposed. She did, and it was magical. Side-swept layers involve parting to one side with cascading layers that add bounce and frame the face asymmetrically. It lifts the cheekbones, softens the jawline, and adds intrigue. Switch by growing layers in, training the part with clips. Use a flat iron for sleekness but add waves at ends. It's been a favorite update for me. It hides forehead lines gracefully. Embodying wisdom, it's about shifting perspective literally with the part for fresh views. Versatile for updos or loose, it's empowering. Friends report feeling more flirtatious and alive. If straight center is your norm, sideswept could refresh your world. The center parted long straight hair, try sideswept layers. The center parted long straight hair straight down. No frills. It was my go-to in my 50s for simplicity, but I've learned it can elongate the face downward, emphasizing sagging or asymmetry, making one look more somber than spirited. As gravity takes its course, that straight line in the middle can accentuate it rather than counterbalance. I helped a book club friend rethink hers. What about sideswept layers? I proposed. She did. And it was magical. Sideswept layers involve parting to one side with cascading layers that add bounce and frame the face asymmetrically. It lifts the cheekbones, softens the jawline, and adds intrigue. Switch by growing layers in. Training the part with clips. Use a flat iron for sleekness but add waves at ends. It's been a favorite update for me. It hides forehead lines gracefully. Embodying wisdom. It's about shifting perspective literally with the part for fresh views. Versatile for updos or loose. It's empowering. Friends report feeling more flirtatious and alive. If straight center is your norm, sideswept could refresh your world. The all-one length blunt cut go for face framing highlights and layers. Finally, the all-one length blunt cut straight across. No variation. Practical. Yes, but it can weigh down the face, creating a boxy look that adds years by lacking dimension. As hair loses luster, the bluntness highlights dullness. A neighbor confided her frustration. I suggested face framing highlights and layers. What a glow-up! This involves subtle lighter strands around the face with graduated layers for movement. It brightens complexion, adds youthfulness without full color change. Transition by adding layers first, then highlights. Style with a blowout for volume. I've seen it revitalize many. It's like sunlight on your features. This embodies releasing uniformity for layered depth, mirroring life's richness. Low commitment. It's ideal for us. Stories from viewers confirm the confidence boost. If blunt is your style, this upgrade awaits. There you have it. My friends' 5 outdated hairstyles and their empowering replacements. Remember, these changes aren't about erasing time. They're about honoring the beautiful woman you've become. Experiment gently, listen to your intuition, and let your hair reflect your inner light. If you've tried any of these or have your own tips, share in the comments below. I love hearing from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more wisdom on graceful living. Until next time, embrace your timeless beauty. Take care.